What is up, guys? Andrew with No Excuses TV here, and today the video that we have for you is a fly tying video, but it's not one that I've actually tied. Oh, I've tied the fly, but this is not me tying it. So when I first got into fly tying, I bought the Scientific Anglers like beginner fly tying kit, right? And so the thing that they sent, they had all the materials with it. They also sent a DVD of the instructions how to tie the fly. So the problem is I didn't have a DVD player whenever I got this, and so I had a big struggle trying to figure out how to learn the techniques. And so I emailed. They told us that there's plenty of stuff on YouTube to figure out how to tie those the flies that they were in that video. The problem was I couldn't find one that lined up exactly with the materials that they had provided. So it would have required me to buy more materials or use other stuff. Excuse me, and I didn't want to do any of that. So what I did is I went through and broke all of the videos down for their specific flies, and that's what you have here. And so this is specifically for the Scientific Anglers beginner fly tying kit. It's the video that goes with it in case you don't have a DVD player. Here you go. Again, I'm not going to monetize any of this because it's not my material, but I'm wanted a place online that I could reference this and a resource instead of having to rely on having a DVD player, which as we continue to move forward is going to be less and less common. And so if you need one, here you go. So anyway, hope you liked the video. They did a great job tying this fly. Make sure you like this video. If you want other content that's not specifically fly tying, but just fly fishing, outdoor, hiking, camping, rock climbing related, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the click the notification bell so you never miss the next video.
Welcome to Introduction to Fly Tying. My name is Greg Vinci, and I'll be your instructor who will take you on a journey that will provide you skills and knowledge that will greatly enhance your fly fishing experience. Though this video will provide you with all of the basic skills, there's not enough time in this video to go over the fine points of tying flies. I strongly recommend that you get some personal instruction whenever possible. Instruction can be found at fly fishing shows, fly club meetings, and at your local fly shop. Now we're going to learn the parts of the fly. They are the tail, the abdomen, the thorax, and the legs. The tools that we'll be using are the bobbin threader, hackle plier, half hitch tool, scissors, and hair stacker. The thread spool is attached by snapping it in between the arms of the bobbin. We then take the bobbin threader and insert it into the tip of the bobbin so that it protrudes from the base. Then we take the end of the thread and insert it into the protruding wire loop of the bobbin threader. Finally, pull the loop up through the tube and out of the tip. In order to even the hairs of the clump of elk hair we use for hair wing flies, such as the elk hair caddis we will tie later in the video, we use a device called the hair stacker. We begin by cutting a clump of elk hair or deer hair that we are using to tie our hair wing fly. It is important to brush the hair to remove the underfur so that the hair packs evenly in the hair stacker. Now place the tips of the hair into the flared top of the hair stacker and push down. To remove the packed hair, we slowly rock the flared tube of the hair stacker while gradually removing it from its base. It helps if you hold the hair stacker with the base slightly elevated. The hackle plier are used to facilitate handling of delicate materials such as hackle when being wound onto the fly. Squeeze the pliers between your thumb and forefinger and clip the jaws onto the tip of the hackle, and then gently wrap the hackle around the shank of the hook. Be careful not to put pressure on the hackle as it will easily break. We will begin by tying a woolly bugger. The woolly bugger is fished underwater, and depending on how it's presented and the color it's tied in, represents a large array of aquatic life forms, such as small fish, crawdads, and leeches, to name a few. Materials that we will use to tie a woolly bugger are marabou, chenille, hook, hackle, copper wire, half-inch tool, scissors, and bobbin threader. The first step in tying the fly is to pinch the barb. Barbless flies are easier to remove from the fish, meaning that the fish spends less time out of the water, resulting in less stress. Now place the hook in the vise and level it and clamp the jaws. To begin wrapping the thread, make several wraps just behind the eye of the hook, wrapping the thread over itself several times to secure it to the hook shank. Now wrap towards the bend of the hook, making sure your wraps are as close together as possible. Creating a thread base on the hook shank in the beginning will make the fastening of materials much easier as we proceed. Once you get to the bend of the hook, stop. We now wrap either lead wire or non-toxic wire around the bend of the hook to about a 1/4 inch behind the eye to give the fly some extra weight. Then we wrap back over the wound wire with the thread to help secure it, and finish off by applying some head cement to the wraps. Now we're going to tie in the tail. We take a clump of marabou and we place it over the bend of the hook and take a loose wrap of thread and then gradually wrap tighter and tighter to secure the marabou. And now we can clip away the extra marabou so we have more room to work. Then keep wrapping forward and backwards. Keep it secure. Now we take a couple strands of crystal flash and we tie those in right at the base of the tail. The next step is to tie in a piece of chenille. And follow the chenille with a section of copper wire that we're going to use for the ribbing. Here we'll tie in the hackle. Take the hackle, hold it by the tip, between the thumb and the forefinger, pull it down, strip it, in other words,
so that the barbs flare. Then take the tip and wrap it to the shank of the hook. And then trim off the excess. Now wrap the thread forward, stopping about 1/8 of an inch behind the eye. It's important that you leave room behind the eye so it doesn't get crowded by materials when you've completed the fly. At this point, wrap the chenille forward and tie it off with several wraps of thread. Next, wrap the hackle forward, letting the space between the wraps of chenille determine the spacing of the hackle wraps. And finally, we'll take the copper wire and counter wrap it forwards towards the eye of the hook. We gently work the wire between the barbs of the hackle. We don't want to mat down the barbs as we wrap forward. And we trim off the excess of the wire and finish off by wrapping thread behind the eye, making 3 half hitches, and we have a completed fly.
There you have it. You now have all the skills necessary to embark on a lifetime of tying flies. When you're on the stream, remember to pinch your barbs, release your fish, and keep our waterways clean.